Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I'm the Chief Development Officer at a nonprofit in St. Louis, Missouri. And I have just finished Raise More. And I want to talk to you about why it was important to me and why it will be great for you. When I signed up for the course, I was leaving a position and took on a new role. And I have about 15 years experience in the fundraising sector, and I'm pretty confident in most of the work that I do. But I had had a ton of experience in recent years with major gift fundraising, and I thought of all the areas that I was going to be asked to be an expert in, this is the one where I could use the most help. And I had seen Catherine give a presentation or two, one of the many free opportunities she provides for people to learn from her. And I was really taken with the way she presented information, with the objective methods that she'd present. There were always takeaways, and that's really important to me. I'm recording this video at night. My life is pretty chaotic, pretty busy. And so while I would love to be able to make time for all the opportunities there are to learn, to do my job better, I really am looking for opportunities where I'm going to be able to take something and use it and see the results of it pretty quickly. And I was confident that with Catherine, I would be able to do that. When I first started the program, I wasn't sure which of the pieces would be most useful to me. There's group coaching and there's individual coaching, and there's an element that is, pretty straightforward learning, and I was looking forward to each of them, but I wasn't sure exactly what to expect. And knowing what I knew of Catherine, I knew that the pieces that we'd be able to use as tools would be useful and practical, and that was absolutely true. I was provided the tools that I needed to assess the donors that existed at an organization I was entirely new to, and I was able to use those tools to work with my team to ensure that we were all on the same page in terms of how we were moving forward and why we were taking those steps. And I was able to use them to demonstrate to others in my organization the importance of understanding the long-term strategy that is major gift fundraising. So those pieces that Catherine provides as part of this program are absolutely invaluable. And the individual coaching, I think I couldn't overstate how important knowing that option is available to me is. It makes me feel more secure to know that I have someone who's in my corner. And then there was the group component of the program, which is the part I was probably the most reticent about. I just didn't know what to expect. But what I found was a group of people, and we were a relatively small group, who became very invested in each other's successes. We would come together in these meetings to learn from Catherine and to pepper her with our questions and kind of ask for advice. And very quickly we found that we were able to help each other with some regularity. We were able to draw on our own experiences and expertise and some of the materials we'd covered in the course and help each other through whatever the struggles of the moment were. And I'm grateful for the people who were in that class, and I certainly hope that if they needed anything in the future, they know that they could reach out to me, and I wouldn't be hesitant to do the same. The community portion of this program is a more significant value to me than I expected it to be, and I don't think you can ever have too many people who are there to help you, right? Who are interested in your success and your organization's success, and I was pleasantly surprised by the way that we were able to really make good use of the time we had together to help each other as much as we were getting help ourselves. So clearly being part of Raise More was an important thing for me professionally, but personally, and that's fantastic, and it's well worth the investment for that. But I also think, as we're thinking about the way that nonprofits are budgeting their money and deciding where to put training dollars, that there'd be real value for the organization as well. And for the organization that I'm presently working for, where it's a relatively young organization. It's been around fewer than 10 years, and there's not a strong history of individual gift fundraising at this point. And so for us, what it's done is allowed everyone to kind of get on the same page, right? It's allowed us to look at the information that we have, figure out what information we're missing about our donors and donor prospects, and put together some realistic plans so that there's less kind of haphazard, short-term but quick turnaround kind of fundraising happening. And so that we are really working to set the organization up for long-term success so that whoever comes in after me has waiting for them a program that is well mapped out with good strategy behind it and a really clear path forward. And that's going to be a really, I think, game-changing thing for an organization that is the age that ours is. And I come from a background of having worked at much more established, longer term and larger nonprofits, and I can easily see the value of this program in those settings as well. I think in a program that's more mature, it's sometimes difficult to take a step back and think about the step-by-step processes that you're engaging in. It becomes easier, at least in my experience, to do what you've done and rely on anecdotal evidence and your lived experience and not take that extra step to kind of think through what best practices and how you're organizing and communicating your strategies, both to the people in your own department who you're working with and to the people in the organization and on the board and the various stakeholders that we're all responsible to. So if the question is, should I do this? Should I invest in the program, either for myself, or should I invest budget money to allow someone on my staff to go through the program? The answer is just unequivocally yes. There's no question that the investment I made to take this course will pay dividends from the organization that I work for proudly every day, and for the organizations with whom I volunteer, and for organizations that I might work for in the future. The resources that I've gathered, the relationships that I've made are absolutely things that will benefit me long after the course is over, though I continue and plan to continue reaching out to Catherine all the time. You should too. She's a good person to know.